So this is the G6. No, this is the G6. I mean the LG G6. Okay, there we go. LG has come up with a phone that's instantly recognizable and universally likable. Even though it's easy to see they've cut corners here, it's only figuratively speaking. The rounded corners of the screen are a prominent design feature, and it's one unusual screen, that's for sure. The 18:9 aspect ratio means the screen is narrower than even a regular 5.3-inch screen, so while the surface area is not as big as you'd expect, you at least get the benefit of nicer handling. It's a very bright screen too, and for what it's worth, it supports both competing HDR video standards. Enhanced water resistance is a trendy feature among top-tier phones, and LG has finally picked it up. Not only does the G6 feature increased drop resistance, but it's also got IP68 waterproofing. The G6 also has a proper 3.5mm audio jack and a micro SD slot, two features we still value highly. The back is all glass and the camera lenses no longer sit on a bump. They're all nice and flush with the back surface now, unlike the G5. Battery life is another marked improvement over the G5. The G6 achieved a 72-hour endurance rating, putting it on par with the competition. Quick charge support goes without saying, but only the US models get wireless charging. The phone's performance is great as expected. With the help of the Snapdragon 821, it's a dependable performer in both synthetic tests and real-life use. It may be last year's silicon, but we think this chipset would be capable enough for at least a few more years down the line. The LG G6 runs the latest Android nougat. The taller screen allows some apps to display more content, like the web browser or the email client, or when you have a keyboard open in a messaging app. You also have more screen to work with in apps with a 2-pane view mode. Widescreen video content from Netflix will also have a better fit for the screen. We guess split-screen view mode would have made a great use case too, if it wasn't for LG's rudimentary implementation. There's also no way to hide the on-screen navigation keys on demand, so not everything is perfect in the software department. The taller screen brings along a few usability downsides too. If you watch a lot of YouTube videos, most of those would be in a 16:9 aspect ratio. The video viewport you get in this case has roughly the surface area of a phone with a 5.2-inch screen because you get black bars on the left and right. Even if you don't watch much video, you will notice that it's now harder to reach the notification shade with your thumb, and even the volume buttons are placed quite high. This forces you to constantly readjust your holding position, and that becomes a nuisance with time. The camera viewfinder is one place where LG has found a great way to fit more content than usual. You get to see the thumbnails of the last photos you've taken while you're still taking pictures. Every G6 comes with two cameras, a normal one and an ultra-wide-angle one, just like on the G5. The difference here is that the wider camera is now much better and much more usable. We really like the photos the main camera takes. It consistently produced sharp and detailed images in our tests. Noise is present, but not to the point of becoming an issue. Colors are vivid and the dynamic range is actually quite good for such a small sensor. The output of the wide-angle camera is equally nice too, if only a bit softer. This camera still doesn't have autofocus, but compared to the G5's camera, the difference is night and day. The selfie camera appears to be the same one from the V20. It's not great, but it captures decent amounts of detail, so it's okay. We're also happy to see that the 4K video recording by either camera is super sharp with lots of fine detail. LG's video quality remains among our favorites. 1080p video is good too, but it's not class-leading in terms of resolve detail. Circling back to the beginning of this review, we're glad that the only corner cutting by LG has had to do with the G6's screen corners. It's a well-rounded smartphone, quite literally even, and it's better than its predecessor in all the ways it matters. Just as it should be. And check out our full text review over at gsmarina.com.